Okay, get it open on the phone so I can see what people are saying. It says upcoming. Why does it say upcoming? It says upcoming. Okay, we're working. We're working. All right. Okay, what is up, guys? Today we're going to be working on some stuff for the future part of the channel. The future part of the channel, my god. We're going to be working on future content. We're essentially in the last step of it, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's better to have someone with you when you're doing this because it's pretty taxing, I would say. So, to put this into retrospect, this is basically our challenge number 5 that I have set, but yeah, we're changing it up a little bit. We're messing around with it, making it a little bit more, more interesting, more challenging. And yeah, this is basically page 1 of what we have so far. I'm basically going to finish it today if I complete the shading on both pages. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing today. We're just basically going to finish this up. So we're on page 1, and all we're going to be basically doing is just applying shading. That's literally the only thing that there is left to do. First, I gotta figure out where the hell I am. That would be here. So the question is, because there's really no definitive light source here, the only light source that is available in this scenario is maybe the moonlight, but it doesn't really show any moon. So I would just think it's going to be very light shading. I don't know. We'll see when we get there, I guess. Okay. And for this, much easier. This is so much easier than, if you were doing coloring shading, because basically you just go black. Oops, no white, black. So we're just going to start by doing something like this. How big is my brush? 2.0. Okay. So less drawing, more of an art stream, I should say. That's what I should have labeled it as, but that's okay. Because the drawing's already all done. We don't need to worry about any drawing anymore. But for now, we're just coloring this in. Just to kind of make it look nice. And essentially what this black is going to be is pretty much shadow. It's going to represent shadow. Then we turn the opacity down. I don't know how far yet. I guess it all just depends on how this goes. And then we're just basically going to draw or erase the shadow from where light would potentially hit. And to be honest, I don't know. I honestly think there's no light source, so it wouldn't make any sense if I put shadow here. The only light source I could think being a light source would be the moon. But if you go to page 2, there's no moon. So yeah, we're just going to kind of experiment around, just kind of see what works, what doesn't work. But this is essentially the gist of what we're doing. Hopefully shouldn't take too long to do this. I don't think it will, but it's unpredictable sometimes. Let me retry that. But I've definitely gotten a lot more better at lighting and shading and stuff like that over the past, like, ever since, definitely ever since I did the last challenge, for sure. I've definitely gotten a lot more better at both anatomy, shade, excuse me. I've definitely gotten better at shading, lighting, and most importantly, anatomy. You know, much anatomy really isn't a part of this, if you want to put it that way, because this piece is really a lot of side angle, face angle, eyeballs, in this case, legs. Definitely learned a few tricks in doing stuff like Inktober, Art Fight, my own series. Like I recently got done with this series on my DeviantArt. Unfortunately, I can't share it here because it's a no-no. But basically, what I did was I took characters like waifus, basically, and drew them as strippers because I wanted to really practice my pose like stuff and like really experiment with different poses. And let me tell you what, that was definitely a great thing to do to learn something like that because we all know those people, those kinds of people, definitely do some weird poses on a pole, for sure. It definitely tested me, for sure. But it was a lot of fun because I just got to, you know, do what the hell I wanted. Plus, I kind of miss doing, the not safe work stuff. But yeah, just can't share that here because YouTube would be on my ass. But yeah, I have been challenging myself. And I'm glad I kind of held off on doing another challenge because, yeah, I would rather kind of do it like when. I'd rather kind of improve rather than just be like the same quality by the time I got to this point. So yeah, it's definitely an improvement. That said, that doesn't mean that art got any easier because it did not, for sure. Okay, I think that we need to up the opacity of the legs just a little bit. Okay. Let me see if I can just do something like this. How big is my blur? Not that big. Okay, we don't want a full 100. We don't want a full 100%. And maybe we do. This is just to kind of make the light look a little bit more realistic, I guess you could say. But yeah, this content or this challenge will probably likely be coming out, I would say probably within the next week or so. That kind of looks sloppy. Just a little bit. So that star is that part of the thing. That's a star. Okay. So yeah, this definitely was not an easy challenge at all because it's different. And it definitely tested me to come up with like Oh boy, wait until you guys should see the video because it's going to be pretty interesting to say the least. But I do enjoy making mangas and stuff like that, so this was definitely fun. Okay, I think the only other place where there needs to be light is against the building because that would only make sense. So I think what I'm going to do here is another layer, and I'm going to do this little trick. Let's see, I'm on the wrong brush, so I need to be on... Oop, almost was on the wrong brush entirely. No. Ever since they updated this. Like, we just need to do something like that. I'm gonna get the straight line tool. Oh, I need to turn off the fade. Such a stupid thing. Do something like that. Promise is it puts a little bit of bleed out on the edges. So I just gotta kind of go up again. But it's okay. But this definitely was hard because it tackled one of my key, I guess you could say weaknesses in writing because I'm not used to writing like, what's the word? Like short stuff. Like you guys know me, I am not a short story writer at all. Usually, if I write a story, it's gonna be 10 plus chapters long, easily. Okay, now I just need to be about right here-ish. Excuse me. So yeah, this definitely was a weakness point, for sure. It definitely took a lot of thought. It took a lot of like just thinking. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do one for the whoa, not for the whoa, but before for the skin and for the hair because that tends to be a better way of doing it. Can you turn that off? I need the right brush. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I waited to come back to this because it's definitely been a while, almost a year. But I've taken time out. In the time that I've been doing other stuff, I've learned new tricks. I've learned just new ways of doing things and how to make my art look much better. Like one thing I recently learned is a much easier way to draw the body. How much was that at? About 32% ish? Something like that. But that's one of the things I learned the most recently was just how to draw the body a lot more easier because that's one thing I really struggled with was just how to draw okay, how I draw the body how I tend to draw the body or the process of it because I mostly draw females is I'll draw the head, then the shoulders, or excuse me, neck, shoulders, then I will draw the collarbone to determine where the fun things connect. And how I used to do it was I'd find the where the armpit is because that's where the things connect from, and I would draw down and draw them first, and then draw the lines down for the body's like sides and curves. Now what I do, and this is so much easier, I really hate that it took me this long to figure this out. What is I will before I even touch the balloons, I will draw the body outline first. And how I learned this was, well, I don't remember who I was drawing. Oh, who was I drawing for that series? I know they were big breasted. That's how I figured it out. I want to say it was Shy Lily. I want to say it was the Shy Lily piece, which was one of my favorites. And the Shy Lily piece, well, we all know. Well, if you don't know, Shy Lily's model huge. But I drew the body first, like the outline from like how your body forms from like the armpit down to the waist. That's usually what I do. And then I connected everything. Let me tell you what, it makes drawing 10 times easier. And if you struggle with anatomy, like drawing like the torso or whatever, do that. Trust me, it'll save you so much time. Okay, so we're at 32% with the skin, so the hair probably needs to be about right there. Um, the cigarette actually doesn't look too bad. All right, so yeah, I've learned a lot of tricks and tips and stuff like that from just experimenting and just playing around. And really, that's the best way that I've found to just learn new stuff and pick up on new tricks and tips and stuff like that is just challenging myself. And I know some people would just panic in fear at even challenging themselves, but trust me, it's probably the best thing you can do for yourself as an artist because it does make because when you're forced to challenge yourself, you end up doing things that you know you're not usually comfortable with. Okay, what in the hell? Okay, I gotta remember how to do this. Okay, I think it's the entire fish, right? Yeah. Sorry, I haven't shaded side angle for a while. So forgive me if I'm a little rusty. And for those wondering, yes, I am still working on Red Hill Academy, but I'm just taking my time. I am biding my time very, very carefully because, guys, Red Hill is a dark story. And it's so dark that it messes with my head. And what I mean by messes with my head is that it causes some uh, adverse, side effects, such as like just feeling depressed, not feeling up to doing shit. Like it just doesn't feel good. So I have to be very careful, and I'm also way more ahead of schedule with episode 2 than you would think. I think I'm on like page 38 or something like that. And yeah, this story is dark. Very, very dark. Okay, let's go to the hair. It is a very, very, very dark tale. Like, you guys are going to love it, but yeah, I need to take my time for the sake of my health. All right. So yeah, I'm still working on Red Hill. It's just a matter of pacing and being careful not to, hurt myself. And that's the gist of it. I am very excited to share episode 1 with you guys. It should be out this month, hopefully. My editor is going on my editor is going on like a cruise next month, so even he's like, okay, yeah, I need to go. I need to go, otherwise I'm gonna be way far behind when I get back from the cruise. No. So it's just a matter of time, patience, and just my editor, getting it done. Because we both didn't expect it to be this much work, but yep, it is definitely a lot of work. Most definitely a lot of work. Way more than we thought it was going to be. And that's usually how it goes with like projects. You think, when you go into it, you're like, this won't be that hard. And then you get into it and you start doing it. And you're like, okay, I think served myself too much. What's the word? It's something to do with like a spoon, like too much food in something. I don't know. I may have bit off more than I could chew. And that happened to me with like RTBAA. It happened to me with it's happened with a lot of projects. Like there's just some projects that require way more work than you uh, don't realize, and then once you get into it, you're like, well, shit. This is a lot more work than I thought it was. And this is especially a lot of work because it's not a still image. It's like a multitude of images. And I love drawing, but yeah, even I need my breaks. My editor also got like some sort of respiratory infection or something like that in the process. So, yeah, I'm not going to rush him. I'm not going to rush anybody. I'm going to let them have their, you know, I'm going to let them take their time. Oops. So they can make this best that they can make. And like I said, episode 1 really isn't where the story begins per se. Episode 1 is more introductions, getting to know the characters, establishing our, cast and stuff like that. That's what episode 1 is. It's not really based around, what you would think. The story honestly doesn't even start until episode 2, where things get really dark really fast. Okay. Let's do one for the cigarette. Minus that little tidbit because that's supposed to be like a burn. Or like a cherry or whatever. I think the way that you do this is like this. Something along those lines. Yeah, sure. Okay. I do think it needs a little bit more shadow in some areas, such as like down here. I think that the hair one needs to be just a tad bit more dark. Whoa, what the hell? Like, let's try a 35%. Okay. Now what I've got to do is I've got to go... Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I need to get this color. Darken it just a smidge. Like for mangas, you don't really need much shading. Like I'm not going to be lazy with it, but you do not really need much shading. Lower the opacity. Still doesn't look natural. I could just go something like that. Like one thing I figured out that I'm learning to draw a lot more better, even though I still do struggle with them, is hands. Through these challenges, I have learned how to draw hands very much more better than I could before. And I love it. Because once you draw hands enough, you learn. You learn like the tidbits that make hands, turn into hands in terms of art. once you learn, how hands shape and stuff like that, immediately you're like, oh, okay. Like one of the key things with hands that is one of the key aspects to making them look real is the finger lengths. Like you need to get those finger lengths absolutely correct. They cannot look off. And trust me when I say it's very easy to do that. And it's not like the end of the world if you get it wrong. It's all a learning curve. I'm not like any like I'm not a professional at drawing hands at all. The hell? I am definitely no professional at drawing the hands. But one I've learned very much better how to draw them, especially certain like hand poses. Like one of the ones that I really wanted to learn the most is, well, seeing I tend to draw a lot of characters doing the thing is this, that hand pose. And what do I use as a reference? My own hand. Like I don't get I never will understand why someone said using references is bad. I don't get it. I don't understand. Why is it a bad thing? I don't get it. I don't understand why people or why someone once said that. Like it had to be some kind of art snob that doesn't even draw themselves. It had to have been. Like it had to have been someone like that. Someone who doesn't know the craft and they think they can just say whatever the fuck they want because it's their opinion. What the hell? How did that happen? Is that the hair one? Yeah, that's the hair one. Okay. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, am I crazy? That I swear to God. Okay, now what? Where is the hair layer? My God. Sorry, guys. Brain is not fully awake. Alright. Like this little trick right here with the blur tool. Where did I learn this? I learned this in a server during Art Fight last year. Like I displayed my stuff and someone said, your light looks a little too stiff. It doesn't look natural. And they said basically, okay, get your blur tool, turn it down to about maybe 60% on the intensity, and just go over it with the blur tool. And I'm not going to lie, it does look more realistic. Is that the face? Yes, it is. I'm using 100% because 60% ain't strong enough, but it was a lesson because the light doesn't look natural if you just leave it stiff. And sometimes I do tend to forget to do that step, but I think that's natural. But yeah, that has been mainly why the main reason why there hasn't been any art challenges as of late is just because, well, time. Time. Oh shit. It's this one. Time, projects, challenges, things like that. That what I think it is? No, it is not. Okay. Where did those shadows go? Right here. Yep. But yeah, I would say to anybody, challenge yourself because that is the biggest thing that is going to make you a better artist, develop your skills, things like that. Like I get it. Inktober, not definitely for everybody. It pushed me quite a bit. But the thing is, I learned from it. I learned like certain little things that can help me, some things that aren't helpful, stuff like that. But the end thing that matters is that I learned something. And that's the biggest thing, the biggest payoff. And I think that's really just all that matters, really. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, I need to turn off the smoke. Okay, gotta figure out which layer that is. Right there. Bingo. And one thing that I see artists say all the time, well, beginner artists, is, well, I can't do art because I don't have a stylus and like like an art tablet or whatever. Uh, get a pencil, get paper. Start there. That's where I started, and I found out that traditional is definitely not something for me. I don't like traditional because when it comes to the face, like eyes and stuff like that, I cannot, for the love of me, draw it. I can't get it correct. I've tried a gazillion billion times. I've tried the like cross method. I've tried like doing the sectioning method where basically you find the sections of the face by drawing 3 lines. I've tried. It is not my thing. I prefer digital where you can just move things around and resize things random. Like just all by yourself. And that's just my final verdict. Okay, I think we're at like 35-ish or 33. Guess I could just check. We are at 32. Okay. Just important for consistency. And I think the hair was like 35. Like, guys, I never thought I would be able to draw a straight line. But, again, you just learn things as you go along, and you start rough, for sure. Like, the first thing that I started with that looked terrible was probably just the anatomy itself. Because the end thing is that anatomy is not easy. It's very, very difficult. Excuse me. 35%. Okay. And it takes forever. It takes a long time to pick up on how to do it correctly. And how do you get that? Practice, 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 practice. Research, 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 research. Taking advice from people who know what the fuck they're talking about. And for me, those people, like I have people who are artists, like from projects and stuff, who have been good people. Like they haven't told me, "Oh, your shit's terrible," blah, 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 blah. Because you don't want to degrade an artist because of something like, oh, you don't want to degrade an artist just because they can't like draw something or they're struggling in a certain capacity. Best thing you can do to them is help them, give them advice, just like I'm doing right now. encourage them. Like one channel that I watch all the time, that is a great art channel that can teach you like tips, tricks, and all that stuff. Jazza. Jazza, then there's Spilled Ink, another great one. And there's a lot of great art channels out there that I probably haven't even discovered yet. But Jazza and Spilled Ink are like the top two for me. I love those channels because they are run by people who are artists that are confident in their craft, but they also know that you can make mistakes. Like, don't be like the first thing, like the first rule, honestly, is don't be afraid to make a flippin' mistake. You're gonna make more mistakes than you are going to not make mistakes. Because I'm telling you now, if you want to be an artist, you better be prepared because well, the majority of your stuff at first is gonna look like shit. And it's gonna bug you and bug you and bug you to the end of your days. Like you're gonna go back to that piece and you're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, oh god, what the hell was I thinking? Like you're gonna be like that. I'm even like that to my own like old YouTube content. Like there's stuff that I look back on and I'm like, what in the was I thinking? Like one of the ones that I can think of right off the top of my head, the survey. There's one specific line that I just look back on and I'm like, what in the hell were you thinking? And that's the one where Twilight says something along the lines of, so I heard you like me in tube socks or something like that. I don't know what the hell was going through my brain. I don't know what the hell uh, was even enticing me to put that in text. But here's the thing. Did it work? Yep, you bet your ass it did. Because there's some bronies that like that shit. And while I wasn't trying to do that, I accept it. That's why I haven't deleted it. I haven't deleted it. I haven't, said, ugh, this is so bad that I'm just gonna nuke it off of YouTube. No, because I know people like it. I know there's people that come back to watch it, even though I hate it. That doesn't mean I can take it from you guys. Or I should. And that's one of the things that I've learned as a YouTuber of almost 10 years now. I know, almost a decade, guys. That's crazy to me. Is that, you're gonna make stuff that you don't like, you're gonna make stuff that you regret. It's gonna happen. But, you know what? You have to accept it. Because it's mostly just a, like, stepping stone. That's how you gotta think of it. You gotta think of it as a stepping stone. This is something that you learned, and you learn from it, and now you're never going to do it again because looking back on it now, you don't like it. There's a lot of art pieces that I've done that I'm just like, what did I do? Like, what the hell was I thinking? Or what the hell is this? Like, some have the most simplest of mistakes where I'm like, why? And I know why, because I was new. I was a complete noob. I had no clue. And I didn't have a very good teacher either. Like a good guide. So I had to learn, like, the majority of what I've done to this point by myself. I've had to watch videos. I've had to look at books. I've had to just draw every single day to get like an idea of what I need to do, what I don't need to do. And it's been a great journey. I legit enjoy this. I love drawing. Drawing is just something that it's like, what's the word? Therapeutic to me. It's hugely therapeutic to me. Like if I'm like in the mood to just like relax and not do anything, I'll grab my tablet and I'll just start drawing because that's what I love. and it does, you know, even though there is some poses that are harder than others, that's why I did the stripper one, because I wanted to expand my horizons. I wanted to try different things, and you bet your ass it taught me quite a few new little hits, little tips and tricks that are definitely going to help. And like I said, there's just ones that, like, there's some that I don't like. And that's mainly because they're new characters that I've never drawn before. Like, a lot of the people that I drew for, like, a lot of the waifus that I drew for this series were new. Because I wanted to learn how to draw new characters as well. And I wanted to also challenge myself with poses and stuff like that. Like, so I'm learning two things at once: how to draw a new character and how to like do different poses. And the one that I'm not the most happy with is the Amelia one. The Amelia one, it still looks off to me, and I know nobody cares. Nobody cares because I see what I see, and well, the thing about it, okay, none of the anatomy is bad. None of the anatomy is bad. None of the aspects of it are bad. It's her fucking face, and I do not know why her face just looks derpy to me, but it does. The the expression, like one of the things that another thing that I learned how to do uh in the stripper thing was how to do anime eyes. And let me tell you what, they're actually not that hard. They are actually not that difficult to do. They're literally just a lot of different color layers. A lot of different color layers, a lot of circles, a lot of curved lines. Depending on how detailed the eye is, how many colors are in the eye, depends on the difficulty of the eye. Like Yvonne from freaking Arc Knight's Infield, her eyes are a nightmare. But then there's some like Amelia from ReZero, whose eyes are easy. But considering I was learning how to draw her eyes and learning how to draw like new characters and stuff like that, of course it's going to come out a little weird. Of course it's going to come out just a little bit like not perfect. And I didn't expect it to come out perfect. But that's the thing. That's the challenge. And while I personally don't, I think it looks weird, I recognize it as okay, this is the first attempt. This is the first attempt. There's plenty of room for improvement. We're going to do her again sometime. And we're going to try this again and we're going to do better. We're not going to repeat the mistakes that we made. We're going to actually get her eyes correct. Like, I think I know what is wrong with her eye, and that's that I didn't make her pupil big enough. But, yeah, it's just a learning curve, guys. That's literally all art is. It's a constant learning curve. And if you want to learn how to do art, pick up a pencil and get a paper and try. Just start. And the way that I would recommend you looking at things first. And I know this is going to be like, your usual like art advice kind of stuff, but trust me when I say it is definitely like worth a try. Look at something and imagine it in shapes. Like the head, circle. The torso, it's kind of like a weird trapezoid or even a square. The shoulder joints, little circles. Your arms, they're tubular and kind of like what's the word? Cylinder. They're like cylinders. And if you look at the body that way, you're eventually going to figure out how to draw those things and put them together. Like for me, when I first started drawing hair, let me finish this shadow real quick. When I first started drawing hair, it wasn't how it's portrayed now. It wasn't the triangles you're seeing. No, it was more like that, like separate strands. Why does that not look right? Hang on, did I get the wrong layer? I think I got the wrong layer. 35%. Had to have been a different color. Okay, I think what I can just do is just kind of... That works. That's close enough. But that's what I mean is that, like, if you want to do art, you don't need a drawing tablet. You do not need the fanciest gear imaginable. Guys, I use a Sony, or excuse me, not a Sony, a Galaxy tablet and a like $14 stylus to do my art. And a free program I have is Paint as the place where I do all of it. I don't pay for anything. I don't go to any art classes. I go literally off of tutorials and just experience. And that's literally the majority of how I learned how I've learned everything. Just experience, experimentation, what the hell? Oh, did I forget to fill this in? I think I forgot to fill this in. I did. Whoops. Okay, let's try again. But yeah, that's just like, don't make that excuse that you can't draw, because if anybody puts their mind to it enough, they can draw. If you can draw a line, you can draw. If you can draw a circle, you can draw. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. If you can draw triangles, you can draw. It's just a matter of experimentation and figuring it out. And trust me, once you figure it out, it's a lot of fun. Like when I learned how to draw something that I've been wanting to draw a long time, anime, I'm like, I can draw. I'm proud of myself. I was proud of myself because I accomplished something. I'm turning into Sean Connery apparently. I promised. I promised. Oh my god, I accomplished something that I never imagined myself even being able to do. And that was just mind-boggling to me. That once I learned the tips, the tricks, cracked the code, I was like, wow, I can actually do this. And then it clicked to me. I'm like, I can actually apply this to my YouTube stuff. And well, here we are. Now, Red Hill was kind of an iffy thing. It was more of an iffy thing because I wanted to wait until I got somewhat good. I didn't want to immediately jump the gun and be like, hey guys, I can draw. No, I waited until I was a little more experienced, I guess you could say. I was a little bit more experienced, a little bit better at being consistent. There are days when I want to lose my damn mind. And yeah, but that happens. That's natural. That is a natural thing in just learning. Because the thing is, you never stop learning. You never stop learning. You never stop, like, trying to improve. Like, it's just like when you pick up an instrument, that instrument is with you for life, and you're never going to stop learning. Because there's always new stuff being added to, like, musicianship. Same thing with artwork. Artwork, you're going to always be learning new things. You're always going to be trying new things. There's no, like, one way or, like, one style. Nope, this is going to be a lifelong thing, and as long as you keep on it, you'll get better and better. And that's why I turned Red Hill into a thing because, well, it's an idea I've had in my head, and I've been wanting to really do different things for a long time on my channel now. I've been wanting to break from Pony completely. I've been wanting to go original, like go my own way. Not trying to quote Fleetwood Mac, but that's where I was at. I wanted to try different things. I wanted to really push outside that box I've been stuck in for nearly 10 years now. Like, I appreciate what Pony's done for me. I appreciate everyone that's, followed, subscribed, and all that stuff. But at the same time, there's got to be a point of when you break out of that box. And I've been at that point for a long time. I've been wanting to. Okay, we'll add a shadow like to our back here. That'll kind of probably add some contrast. But that's where I've been. And I appreciate everyone. Everyone. Like, I appreciate everybody who's followed, subscribed, blah, 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 blah. But I've been at a point where I'm like, I want to try my own stuff. I want to do my stuff. I want to do me. And I'm finally doing it, and I am very proud of myself for finally breaking out of that box. Like, I love Pony. Do not get me wrong. I love Pony content. It definitely made me, and it definitely gave me the start that I wanted. But nothing lasts forever. And that's a lesson I just had to learn the hard way. And I know there's going to be people that won't follow, that have been, people on my channel for a long ass time. But I look at it this way: change is inevitable. And I know the start will be rough. It's going to be rough. But at the same time, so is Pony. Pony started out slow. Whoops. Pony started out slow as well. And eventually I hit like some kind, like, I don't remember how it even started, if I'm being completely honest. But it took a while. And we're almost to 10K now, which just blows my mind. Like, I cannot believe that there are 9K people that watch and support me, which is crazy in my mind, because I never expected to even have that many people, liking my shit. But it has definitely not been an easy journey to get to this point. Like, my ultimate goal was 10K. Like, 10K was not, it's not like my final destination, but it's definitely my ultimate goal, because I feel like 10K is a humongous accomplishment. That is like an accomplishment that I would have never even found possible. And the fact that we're, I think, 40-ish away is crazy. It's nutty in my head. And I'm doing finally what I want to do. And that's what I that's what I've always wanted to do. I've just wanted to create what I want to create rather than be bound by like one thing. And I know some people are, not going to like it, but that's fine. And that's just something I have learned to accept, is that some people are not going to like this. But I'm doing what I want to. This is my channel, and I'm doing what I want to do. I've been stuck in a box for far too long. I think that's fine the way it is. I've been stuck in a box for way too long now, and I need to grow. I need to advance. I need to push outside that box that I've been stuck in for 10 years. I love Pony. I will always be thankful for it, but time needs to go on. Okay, so let's see. This one I can probably just go something like boink, 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 boink. Probably don't need to really change the hair, but if it comes to it, I will. I've also gotten to like catch up with animes that I've been wanting to watch for years now. And one that I was not expecting to be as brutal as it is RE is a ReZero. I have made it through the first two seasons. I'm not on season three yet. I want to watch season three, but I just don't have time right now. I never expected this anime to be as brutal as it is. Like, man, poor fucking Subaru. That poor guy. Oh my god, the poor guy cannot catch a break. Now I get the memes. Now I get the funny stuff. Like, I get it. And I am awaiting the moment when him and, what's her face? Amelia finally kiss. I'm just waiting for it because I know it's coming. Eventually, it's coming. But we gotta get there first. But yeah, that anime is fucking brutal. I was not expecting it to be so bloody, so borderline gory. Like, I was not expecting it to be as dark as it is. Like, I was expecting it to be, somewhat dark. But yeah, wow. It's very dark. But I do enjoy it. I really do enjoy, like, guys, I write dark shit. I love dark shit. So, I enjoy that shit. Hmm. I could probably just do something like that. Maybe just darken it a little bit more. Nope. Another one that I've watched, finally, that I've been wanting to check out ever since I started playing the game version of it, is Umamusume. And now that I've gotten back into, like, actually streaming it and stuff like that, I just haven't really been up to streaming it lately. Uh, yeah, I wanted to watch it, and finally found a way to do it. And yeah, I really like it. I like that it's different. I like that there's like no villain except, what happens to them and the risk of like what comes with like, being an athlete. I like that the devs are very faithful to like the actual story of the actual horse and like their career and all that. There's moments where you're crying, there's moments where you're laughing your ass off, and there's moments where you're like questioning what's going to happen next. I did not expect Umumusume to be as well. Scratch that. I did not expect Umumusume season 2 to be as dramatic as it is, but it is crazy dramatic in a way that is good because of what actually happened to the horse in reality. That like twist at the end with a certain horse caught me completely off guard. And I actually had to look it up. I actually looked up to see if this horse actually suffered from this, and I'm like, wow, did not see that one coming from a mile away. But I do like that it changes. is wholesome for the majority of the time, but it does have its moments where it can be, dramatic and a little, sometimes a little bit over the top. Like, it's very anime. I'm not gonna lie, it's very anime, but it's definitely a lot more tame than the actual game itself. Like, the game is way more anime than the actual show is. And that's not a bad thing. Not at all. There's actual moments where I've been like, oh my god, that's actually fucking hilarious. Because there are moments in it where it actually is freaking funny. Like, anybody who is into horse racing or whatever and knows the history, scratch that. Japanese horse racing. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that anime because a lot of people get flack for liking it. I'm like, why? It's an anime that's about the history of like actual race horses. Why is it a bad thing to like that? Can we not have nice things in this world without some asshole being an asshole? Much better. Like, it's definitely an anime for a specific type of person, but at the same time, it's done in a way that isn't like overly anime. But it's definitely a show that I think a lot of people could easily watch. Like, it's definitely a show. It's definitely different. Okay, I need it's about right here. This can probably be copy pasted. Oh shit! Right, I need to do it for the skin and the hair. Like, ones that I still want to watch. Like, uh, I want to watch the latest season of Demon Slayer. I definitely want to watch that because I have watched Demon Slayer and I can't even remember where the last one was. I want to say we were at like it's been so long. I remember the brother and the sister demons getting basically killed. I don't remember where we're at. The dude dies. I can't remember his goddamn name, but I remember there's like an evolution for what's her face, Nezuko, I think is how you say her name. Uh, yeah, I don't even remember where the hell we're at in the series because it's been that long. But yeah, I do need to get back on Demon Slayer because Demon Slayer is a freaking great show. Even though the one dude drives me up a wall. I can't ever remember his damn. I can't ever. I'm terrible with character names, by the way. Uh, he's the blonde dude that like turns into a lightning lord when he's asleep or something like that. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen that. So it makes sense that I probably would not recall it. I remember just watching it out on a whim too. Like, I'd heard about it and heard that it was pretty damn good. So one night when my parents were at the rodeo in my town, I put it on Netflix and I just started watching it. And I'm a sucker for like brother sister dynamic kind of stuff. So of course I liked it. It was immediately hooked. Yep, great show that I need to get back on. And another one, I know a lot of people don't like this anime, but I don't care, is Sword Art Online. I need to figure out where the hell it's at. Because I watched. Oh, God, what was the name of the damn movie? It was the old one. The one where it's like Asuna is like the main focus. I can't remember it. But yeah, I need to get back on it because I don't even remember the fuck we are. I know we're past the Alizatation or whatever the fuck it's called arc. Like, I don't understand why people are so against this anime, but I get it. Kirito, yeah, he has fucking plot armor like crazy. But I do like in the movie that they toned him down a lot and focused more on Asuna. I do need to get. I need to figure out where we're at first, though. I know that the movie came out. That was the one that I watched, which is actually pretty decent. Not that bad at all. Uh, and I don't know where we went after the Alization or whatever the hell it was called arc where Kirito gets like stuck in another world or something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long, and he gets like turned into a cripple. It has been a long ass time since I've watched that. And again, watched it on a whim one time when my parents were out. I just put it on because I'd heard about it, and yeah, it's a very scary anime. I'm not gonna lie, because what's weird is it feels like it can be real in today's world. Like we've seen, like VR chat, virtual reality stuff. Like yeah, it could definitely be something that's possibly real if it isn't already. The concept of nerve gear definitely can be something. And with AI now, God, who flippin' knows? It's almost scary to think about. But yeah, great show. I don't care what anybody says about SAO. I love it. Doesn't it have some seasons that are a little, worse than others? Oh yeah, definitely. Like the gun game one, I don't remember what it's called, but the gun game one, I did not care for that one at all. It was alright. It wasn't the best though. It was pretty mid, I'd say, in comparison to like season one or whatever, like the good seasons. Okay, I need to figure out why this doesn't look right. I think it's because we need more light, like right in this area. But yeah, I really enjoy SAO, and I don't understand why people hate it so much. I know they hate Corito because he's got like this fucking plot armor on that's so thick it's ridiculous. But come on, if people hate Kirito, then they've got to hate Goku because Goku is littered with it. Like one of the things in Dragon Ball Z that I find bullshit, absolute, like, how in the hell did Goku get out of this one? Is him escaping Namek. That is such horseshit that he escaped Namek, and you can tell that the writers ran out of ideas. They were stumped. That's a case of writer's block right there. They they put themselves into a corner basically where they're like, oh shit, how is Goku gonna get out of this one? So yeah, Goku escaping Namek and finding that spaceship when he was literally in the previous episode just going ah! Surrendering. Uh, I don't get it. But whatever, I'll let it slide. It's fucking Goku. So I'm not gonna worry about it too much and make it too much of a problem. And I feel like that's how a lot of people should look at it. But yeah, if you hate Kirito, then if you like, okay, if you like, if you don't like Kirito and are a Dragon Ball Z fan, you're a hypocrite. Huge hypocrite because Goku littered with plot armor. Some of it is absolutely ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous, I should say. Especially in the later like stuff. Like when I stopped watching Dragon Ball Z was when I got to GT. I hated GT. Hated everything about it. It felt like a very forced series that legitimately was just boring to watch. One I would love to watch is Super, because I've heard Super is actually pretty decent. Nothing's ever gonna beat the first, like, we have the Saiyan saga, we have the we have the Namek saga with, like, Frieza and all that. Nothing is ever gonna beat those. That is like the goat. Like those are like the main seasons that are the best ones, in my opinion. Personally, that's just me. Okay. I can just copy paste this, I think. Yeah, I think I just combine these and... Okay, I can do that for... Boink, boink. I can do it for those two. Yeah, I think I can just do this. Just combine those. Copy. Paste. And if you've got a problem with me copy pasting, I don't care. Where did it go? Right there. That would be right, I think, here. No. Uh-oh. Chuckles. What the fuck? Oh, I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Oh, you ignorant. Okay, I need to get that back into the right spot. Now it's in the right spot. Okay, let's try that again. Copy, paste. Okay, move that out of the panel. Close this. Right here. What in the hell? Oh, oops, I just selected the wrong one. Okay, now I can move this over. And slowly but surely maneuver it into place. That's pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, now we do it again. Copy, paste. Move that out. Turn the chuckles back on. Turn panel 9. right, where did it go? Right there. Okay, now just maneuver that into place. Look, guys, if I can make it easier on myself, I'm definitely going to make it easier on myself. That's actually not that bad. I see some little spots, such as right here. That could be better. Oops. Yep, right there too. Right there. Whoops. Okay, I can see it a little bit. Where's the lasso? I don't think I even need to alter that. I think that actually looks fine. Okay, just close you. 7. Yep, that's the one. Okay, so 8. This one. Just fill in those little blanks. Where it matters. Oh, see that. Okay. Looks pretty good for the first page. This one just looks a little off to me. And I think I know why. Let's see. I need to figure out which one that is. 1, 2, 3. That's 3. That would be the flesh, yep. So maybe if I just go something like that, maybe that might look a little bit more realistic. Here, that'll just have more light. Because it does look like it's not, got enough light emitted. Just kind of experimenting right now. Trying to figure this out. No, I think it's pretty much where it needs to be. Looks a little off, but okay, I think we're done with this page. So, save image. Okay, need to pause real quick because, well, considering what I draw. So, back in about 5 seconds. If I can get Walmart to piss off. Alright, back. Now, we're basically going to be doing the same exact thing here. Just got to figure this out because there is a little bit more detail on this page. So I think in terms of her, okay, get to the right layer first. Okay, sorry there. Kilo. Let's do this. Is this like halfway down the page kind of thing? I think that's about correct. No, if the light is facing forward, her entire face would be open. So I think what we're going to do here is probably put like a shadow around, whoops, put a shadow around like where her hair is like meeting her forehead, just to add some shadow. Maybe around the nose a little bit too. So I feel like this is more of a, oh fudge. I feel like this is more of a just a like take your time kind of situation. I wish I would have done this a little differently, but we can't fix it now. Now can we? What? And getting this to look right is always such a pain in the ass. If I just go single stroke. Oh, whoops. Okay, I might have to just do this manually. That's fine. Wouldn't it be my first rodeo? I plan to lower the opacity anyways. Maybe something like that. Lower to about 67-ish. Nope, needs to be lower than that. Something along those lines. See it just a little bit. If you're wondering why she has no eyes, it's a stylistic thing. It's kind of to keep her identity concealed. Kind of plays along to what's happening in the scene. Okay. Okay, you got some darkness up here. Okay, this looks a little off. Doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something. Around the nose. Okay, we gotta get this correct. Usually a single stroke tends to do the trick. Man, I'll never forget when I used to do shadows the hard way. My god. But I've learned since. Thank God for my friend, who was it that brought up the shading change thing? I want to say it was Azura. I'm pretty sure it was because we talked more than I talked to Pretzel. I want to say it was her. I'm pretty sure it was Azura if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she definitely opened my eyes to getting my shading better. So I had to look up a video on how to learn how to do the cell shading, pretty much. And after experimenting with it a little bit, I've kind of learned how to do it. Whoa. Okay, this is where I need to turn on the intensity. Much better. Now you can see a little something around the nose. Okay. Now her hair looks a little too, I guess you could say, bland. Well, let's see if I can maybe... Okay, let's make a new layer. Let me see if I can just do the airbrush trick. Is that the right one? Yes. So what I mean by airbrush trick is you just kind of go over with the airbrush once, and that usually creates like a pretty good, like almost three-dimensional effect, I guess you could say. Kind of gives it a little bit more volume. Kind of something along these lines. Might add some lines to her hair as well, just to kind of give it some structure, I guess you could say. Because we are in a dark setting, so that's what's making this a little bit more challenging. I see I missed some coloring area. Yeah, it's alright. That's not that hard of a fix. Probably should have went with a bigger brush. Just to kind of make this go a little bit more faster. Okay, that looks a little weird, but I think it'll be okay. Alright, let me fix this color issue real quick. With the right brush this time. Oh, I hate when you do that. Okay. Let's add some details to the hair. Just some easy little details. Whoa, not that big. Why am I on fade out? Oh, I know why. Please go away, sir. Too big. Mm-mm. Nope. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, let's give those just a little bit more of a full, I guess, a volume. just to kind of make them look a little bit more realistic. Scares me. Might darken her face just a little bit, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a, I guess you could say, so let me just give her the shadows real quick. Oh, I see. Seriously? Just to give it just a little bit more of a darkness, because the contrast really isn't lining up. That might work. Okay, find the shadows again. No, wrong brush. And wrong size. About 3. Something like that. Sure, add another layer. Why not? I think it's like that. Okay, and then the back ground. Let's see. I need to probably be about right here. Okay. 1 stroke. Probably around the edges as well. God, so close. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the ass. If you do not get the curves right on point, yeah, it basically does not look right. There we go. Looks a little off, but definitely not as bad as it was before. Okay. Panel 2. I don't think I need to turn that off, so I'm not going to. Okay, first the skin. Oops. Let's just turn it down to what we had before, about 33-ish. What the hell? Oh. Okay, now the hair one, maybe. Whoops. Oh. No, I didn't miss a spot. Okay. Okay, hair should be about 35. And then the cigarette. It was about 26-ish. Alright, now we just gotta do this. So let's get this cigarette out of the way, because that's the easiest one. Okay. Face. Where's our hair? That's her face. Up we go. Okay, make that nose a little less pointy. I believe that's correct. Like I said, guys, I don't remember everything. Plus, I haven't done side angle stuff for quite a while, so definitely bound to be some brain farts. Seriously? Okay, that's her hair, right? Yeah, that's her hair. Okay, that's on the outside. Oh, right. Oops, smaller than that. Smaller than that. Let's see. Does that work? Don't know. We'll find out in just a sec. It kind of works. There needs to be a little bit more light up here. Okay, that's her neck. Okay, that don't look too shabby. Oh, what is this? She needs to be kind of like that. Alright, now I just gotta blur it. There we go. Cigarette. Oh, crud. Alright. Damn it. Okay, I need to go here. I think shadows. Where was it? About 40 something? Sure. Why not? I really see the shadow coming from the face. Is there any stars in the sky in there? There is. Okay. Basically gotta do the same thing again. Okay, let's turn the blood off because that is a specific kind of thing. Okay, there's the rain. We need to be under the rain as well. got 33. Okie doke. Okay, so this is interesting. I'll just try it just to see what happens. Tongue kind of curves like that. Yeah, I'd say that looks fine. Okay, turn the blood back on. The same stuff over and over again, guys. Usually get that with comic work or manga, whatever. Pretty much the same thing. Just gonna color it back in. Whoops. Yeah, that looks more realistic. Okay. I'm gonna darken that just a little bit more. Face. Just 2 runovers. Okay. No, I think it's left. It's just the shadows. The last was exactly 40%. So I can just run that. Add a little line of darkness underneath the chin. Just to kind of give it something. Okay. Now the hand. Okay, I need to turn on the other layers that are off. Don't think there's anything off now that I'm looking at it. I think we're good. Turn to that one. Oh, shit. Okay. 1, 2, 3, on to 4. Okay, let's turn the text off just in case. Okay, where's the right? Right there. Okay, so the light would be all over the top areas, so should be pretty simple. 33. This one's going much more faster. Oh, for the love of... Yep. Oh, that's ring. Okay. Something like that. Yeah, you can't really tell that, especially when I blur it. I can see that though. Okay, then I think that goes just down the hand. Kind of like that. Or is it more like that? And there's actually more like light on that side? I think the way that light works is just kind of something more like that. Problem is this. Okay, that's pretty close. We just barely add some rim lighting. Guess we'll see what happens when I add a blur effect. No. It's along the lines of that. Pretty close. I think that the reason it's catching me off guard is because there needs to be shadow like right here behind the palm. And that's what's throwing me off. Like right there in that area. Don't worry, I am going to lower the opacity. Or visibility for people who aren't aware. It's about 40%-ish. Whoops. Let's try something else. Like add just a something. Kind of to give it a little bit more, I guess, like there's something there. Okay, I need to up that to 100%, please. Because I want to be here forever. Okay, that don't look too bad. The one on the thumb kind of does look wonky, though. Where is the thingamajiggy? Right there. Nope, that's... Yep, that is it. Let me try just running the blur tool over it a little bit more. Okay. Especially these ends because they don't look natural. Okay, that's not too bad for a start, I guess you could say. Okay, these other ones down here. I think the only place of shading around the eyeball is the like right underneath where the eyelid is. Wrong one. So that would have to go like right here. Okay, you really cannot see anything? Let's try that again. Probably more something along those lines. Eyeball shading, I've never really delved that much into, so if it looks a little weird, just bear with me. Okay, that don't look too bad. Sorry if my voice died. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to go with a smaller brush. Okay, that's not terrible. Maybe I could add just a little bit more darkness to the skin of those of like the character, just to kind of give it a little bit of darkness. Like I said, right now we're just doing the shading. We're not focusing on any like special effects or anything like that. 7. Okay, let's take these out for a minute. What is that? That's a great question what that is. I think that's just uncolored space. Yep. That's exactly what it is. The hell? Oh, it's too big. Okay, now I can add the shading. So the first place that I see shading is right, boink, there, on color. It's like 26-ish. Then the inside of the mouth. So this is more like a shadow. What the fuck? And just put some underneath the cigarette. Just kind of blend this. Yeah, I think for those ones I'm just going to kind of make the skin a little darker. Just want to get the shading out of the way first. So around I'd say about right there. So 18%. Okay, next one. I'll put it underneath just to be absolutely sure. Okay, the inside of the eye needs to be a different color too. What the fuck? Maybe somewhere right there. Okay, what is that? 8%. Subtle, but it's there. Okay, then 7. Figure out where the color is first. 10%. Something like that. Something pretty close to that. Alright, let's turn these back on. Alright, next. So I think for this one, all I really need to do is just kind of do what I did with the last ones. Just kind of darken the skin a little bit. Maybe the hair as well. Add some shadow underneath it as well, just to kind of give it something. Okay, then I need to do the same thing I did with the other eye. Oh god. 8%. Okay, did I separate the hair? Please tell me I did. Ah, you fucking... Okay. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I can just do something maybe like that. If not, I'll just do it manually, it's no big deal. Probably add some shadow to like over this area. Let me see. Oops. So what happens if I were to do something like this? And go like... It almost works. I just think... Probably something more like that. That looks more natural. Okay, not terrible. Alright, now the fun shading part. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, so for this one, it's basically a rim light shock kind of thing going on. But I gotta figure out what I am attacking here. So I can probably just do what I've been doing and just kind of go boink, 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 boink. kind of put it about where we've had it. Same thing with the hair. The tank top might work as is. The pants, probably not. Let's just see what happens if I do this. Probably about right there, around 40-ish%. Alright. Let's do this one step at a time. Nope. A little less thick. Okay, that's her hair. Let's do the clothes first. Let's lower that. Okay. Considering that's coming from the front, all of this back here would just be shade. Okay, now let's do the hair. So we're just going for the outside edges. Probably one of the easier things to do. A little small knot. I think that's about it. Minus shadows. So let's do the skin first. Oh, Jesus. Why it's so hot, but we're almost done. The fuck? Oh. Okay. I might have to make that a different layer. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see. Probably some shadows down here. Okay. Okay. I think I've got an idea for the background. Need this one. I think it's basically another airbrush kind of situation. Okay, I gotta move the text. mean, that honestly works perfectly. Oh, you ignorant cock. Nope. I'm gonna have to be careful. One of your best friends in Ibis Paint, I can tell you that, this little tool. Especially if you go outside the frame. Okay, but I do think the shadow around her could be a little bit darker. This one, yep. What is that? Like something like that. That's her hair. Okay. Now, the shadows for the wall thing. Oh, oops. Forgot to put that on there. Whoops. Oh well, too late now. Brush. Smaller than that. Oops. Let's try this again. Okay, we're just gonna have to do this one step at a time. Literally. Around these cracks. Now let me see if I just put the text over that, if it just removes everything that I'm worried about. Pretty much. Minus this part down here. Okay, then there's one more thing, which is the fact that it's casting a shadow. Oops. Oh, I'm going to put that on a different layer because I can't alter it. Okay. That's not terrible. It does look better. But I do think there could be more shading to her hair and stuff like that. Like add a shadow going along this part of her hair. Oops. I don't know if it'd be on the outside though. Guess we could just check. See what works, what doesn't work. And go from there. Yeah, it kind of makes some kind of shade effect like that. It's probably the opposite way. Try the opposite way. Let's see if the opposite way will work better. Okay, we added about 40%-ish. 20%. Okay, now that I'm starting to see it come to life, it does look a little better. Yep. Yep, definitely. Okay. I think the first panel is still bugging me a little bit. The ground is too light, and that's the problem. Am I in the right layer? Yes, I am. Okay. So, we're basically gonna make this a little bit more dark. Would that work? A little too dark. Probably more something like that. this to speed this along a bit faster. Okay, that looks way more better. Problem is now it's contrasting too much with her hair. Well, I think I know how to fix that. Right there? Yep. Let me try something like this. How do I keep doing this? Phone, stop being dumb. Okay, so for that, I would need to probably go somewhere like right here. And... Nope, wrong brush. Like, just kind of add some darkness. See? Now it doesn't look like her hair is connected. Okay, let's lower that opacity a little bit. Whoops. Just kind of add a little bit more curvature because that's not how shadows work. Maybe more something like that. I knew this would be the freaking juggernaut. Let's... Like right here I can just kind of fidget around a little bit. Whoops. Why do you always do this to me? Maybe push this out just a little bit more. So right now we're just kind of fidgeting around. Okay, let's add a little bit more curve to that. Okay, that's a little better. Go more like that with that. Something like that might work. I think it needs to be a little bit more dark, but okay. That's not too terrible by any means. I mean, it works. Okay, I think we're just to the point where we can just kind of fidget. Just check everything to be absolutely sure everything looks okay. I think I'm, for the most part, pretty happy with this. This one kind of looks a little bland, so I think I should add some, maybe, I don't know, maybe just darken the face a little bit more. Oops, what layer is that? That's 2, okay. Where is it? Is it this one? Has to be. Nope, that's the face. Okay, just up that just a little bit more. Maybe to something more like that. Because it almost kind of contrasts a little too much. Maybe I could change the color to something just a teensy bit more dark. Now it kind of goes a little too much out of the contrast. Not terrible. Just a little bit more in the gray area. I don't know if that's any different, but I guess we'll find out here in just a second. Yeah, it's definitely different. It's darker. Looking at the bottom panel. Where did I put the stars? The stars are up here, right? Pretty sure? I'm pretty sure this is the stars. Yep. Okay, so the stars are right here. Let's change that just a white, so we can just see it a little bit better. Kind of hard to tell at this point, but okay. Bottom one. That would be 9. Okay. And we just want to change it to something darker. Should have done that first, but whatever. Somewhere, like right there. The only problem is that now that's not contrasting. Fuck me. Is that closer? I'd say it's closer. Pretty damn close. Yeah, you guys are gonna just give a shit. If it's off by just a teensy tad. It don't look bad, and that's all I care all I care about. Anything else? Again, the contrast in 3 and 4 is a little too close, so I think I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. Or up, more likely. That's... yes. Okay, let's... not that dark. Probably around right there. Probably close enough, I would say. Okay, now into 4. Do the same exact thing. Okay. Now looking too shabby. Okay. I'd say I'm pretty happy with this page. Oh, I see something though. See that issue. That would be on the last panel. And that would be this panel right here. Or panel, excuse me, layer. Let's get that out. Okay. I'd say I'm pretty happy with this page. That's it though, we're not done yet. Just making sure I didn't miss any bleed. Don't think I did. It's kind of hard to tell when your eyes are looking at the same screen for hours. I'd say it looks pretty damn good. Right. This page anyway. Save image. Alright. pause. I gotta go back to page 1. Alright, back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we just look this page over, I suppose. Oh god, I realize I just referenced ReZero. I suppose. What's her name? Beatrice. Okay. I think the contrast with the sky also needs to be changed here because it doesn't really fit. Can I even do that? I believe so, but I'm not too entirely sure, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, that contrasts way better. 3 and 4, or excuse me, 2 and 3. But can't really see it in the third panel, but still not a bad thing to do. Oh, I see the issue. I have a finish to that. My god, I have a fix for that. I just got to figure out where the smoke is, and I'm having trouble. Where are you? Here? No. Don't ask me why it does that, but it does that. Right there. Bingo. Okay, I need to go to this layer. I need to go grab this color and turn the text layer off. And then just add it in. Okay, I can't really tell. Okay, then turn the cigarette smoke back on and the text layer back on. Looking better, I would say. Okay, her skin color on the 4th layer also needs to be altered. Let's see. And for that, yeah, let's just go like this. Turn the text layer off and all that stuff. I said turn the text layer off. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, guys. Yep, so like that. I'd say maybe about right there. Okay, now I can turn these back on. Okie doke. Now what? Okay, how do these contrast down here? Those actually contrast not that badly. Yeah, you have a fair amount of like white with gray. I say that works, but for consistency, I am going to be smart, not stupid. If I didn't do it wrong. Yep. Okay, next layer. And that's layer. Where is it? Right there. Okay. It does it underneath the text too, correct? So I don't have any issues like that happening. Yes, it does. Alright, let's see. No bleach, right? I don't think so. No, not seeing anything problematic, ladies and gentlemen, which is good. It's good for my sanity. Alright. Altogether, I think this thing is done. I think that we are officially done. With this art challenge, anyway. Well, the paper version is done, is what I should say. We are not yet done with the hardest part, which is going to be turning it into a dub. So, yeah. That's definitely still need to be done. Okay, well, it took about 3 hours. Very good. It's about the time that I would estimate that'd take. But sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes things just don't like to go the way you do. But yeah. Oh, I see one little issue. I forgot to blur these lines right here. Or this lighting is what I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll just go over these with the blur tool real quick. That kind of looks blurred. But these do not. Okay, I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful than that. Okay, those look blurred already. Okay. I think that was the only issue that I really saw, which technically is not really even an issue, it's just, yeah. It's just work. That's what it is. Alright. I think we're done with this little comic that I am doing for a challenge, because why not? So yeah. Content's coming soon, guys. Content's coming soon. I already have a voice actor on it, so it won't be long. If I had to take a wild guess of when this is coming out, probably within the next week, if Lotus gets everything to me in time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for joining me this lovely morning. And keeping me company, keeping me, from losing my mind. Even though shading is just really just a... It's really just a process of taking your time, and in the case of comics, very, very repetitive, like just going over the same shit and doing the same shit over and over again. As you saw. But anywho, guys, I'm out. And yeah, expect content soon, and thank you for joining me, and I'll see y'all later. Maybe do a Uma stream, unless my friend is streaming tonight. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, have a good day, and yeah, I'll see you later. Bye bye. If I can find my way out.